Bear with me, y'all. I'm gonna get this story told. How's it going, everybody? I got a story to tell you, and it started a few years back when I was in Chicago for my freshman year of college. And this is where I went to Moody Bible Institute just 1 year. It was really cool to be in the city, but I don't want to live there. It was just really cool to see something different that I've never seen before, which was the downtown area. But I played on the basketball team. But anyways, once the basketball season ended, during the spring, I wanted to go running because I want to stay in shape somehow. I can't just not do something. But I hated running the track. The track was so boring. You just loop around so many times, you lose count of where you're going. So I wanted to just run around the city like I've seen a lot of other people do. And so when I was running around, I did it successfully a few times, seeing different places, just exploring, just getting lost in the city and finding new places. Super, super cool. But then after a few successful times of running, as you can see from the title, I got hit by a car in Chicago. And this was me running. No, I was not driving. My body got hit by a car. So backtrack a little bit. To prepare for this scene, so what I would do was, sometimes because there's so many blocks, I would hate stopping. If I knew there wasn't a car coming and it was that red light, do not cross the street at any cost kind of thing, I still would cross like a lot of other people do. A lot of people would jaywalk in Chicago. I did it anyway, so it's my fault too. So I kept doing that, and I did it successfully, like I said, a few times, but then like the 4th or 5th runaround of Chicago, I was looking at this intersection and thought that it was clear. I looked both ways, like a good Samaritan, I should say. Apparently it wasn't good enough. But I look and I don't see anyone coming. I take a few steps out into the street, and then I get hit. I get basically thrown. And thank goodness I didn't get hit in front of the car. I got hit on the right side of it, so I broke its headlights with my hip. Pretty legit, just saying. Alyssa 1, car 0. But, so I got hit by the car and I'm flung forward. Like I am tumbling. And the funny thing is, the first thought that I had in my mind, I was not unconscious, by the way. I was actually aware of my surroundings. I just, closed my eyes to shield everything, but I was actually conscious. And so I get hit, and then I'm tumbling forward, and then first thought is, am I alive? I'm thinking to myself, am I alive? Am I alive? I can feel my limbs. My limbs are all attached still. Okay. But then what happened was I basically screamed like a dying whale because I didn't know what to think. I was kind of in shock with getting hit. And so it sounded I don't know if I want to imitate it. Ah! Ah! It was something else. And oh gosh, so I'm causing a scene first off because this is a big intersection in Chicago. I wish I could tell you what street it was, because then you could go visit and say, here lied Alyssa Presley on the ground. But it was a big intersection, and I remember actually somebody praying over me. So I thought that was the most legit thing. It was a lady, and don't know who it was because my eyes were closed. I was just lying flat on the ground. But she prayed over me, and then there was a fire truck that came and an ambulance, and I know there was a crowd watching from the side when I was actually able to open my eyes finally. So I was so amazed because I did break the headlight of that car, and that car, it wasn't just a car, it was an SUV, and the lady was pregnant while driving. Thank goodness she was fine. And I actually was able to walk into the ambulance. They didn't take me. I limped to the ambulance, but I was able to walk, and I think I just came out with bruises, a mild concussion, no internal bleeding. I made jokes the entire time I was at the hospital. Yeah, in fact, when I was tumbling, I think, because the car hit me on my left hip, and then my right hip fell to the ground, but I tumbled forward some, and on my left arm, I got like razor burn. It was, well, not razor burn, it was road rash or whatever, but it looked like it was razor burn. And so when the nurses, they came, oh my goodness, when the nurses came and they were just looking at it, they didn't know if that was part of the injury. And I just said, yeah, I just shaved really aggressively. So, and Oh my goodness, I just remember, and then a few days later I had a presentation to do at Moody for my class, and I had a black eye, I was bruised everywhere, I had scratches on my face. So there you go, there's my story. I somehow lived to tell the tale. I didn't break a bone either, which was crazy. But I thought you would enjoy the story, because I think that's a fun fact trivia for me, that Alyssa got hit by a car in Chicago and she was able to walk it off, and she didn't pass out from it either. I personally believe that I'm unable to go unconscious now after that moment, because if I can get hit by a car that was going, FYI, 30 miles an hour, then I can survive. So that's all I got to say. If you liked it, if you like my story, please like it, maybe leave a comment. If you were also hit by a car, you should definitely tell me so we can be like car hitting buddies. Just let me know, and I will talk to you later. Peace.